What's up, and welcome to episode 48 of Brewing Through the Multiverse. This is a Magic the Gathering podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Joel.
Oh, shit.
No, it's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
It's my sugar-free monster.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, it's still some sort of drug or stimulant.
Yeah, substance.
So I'll take it.
Nothing like a late in the day on a Sunday energy drink.
Keeps it going. Well, I got my Bud Lights. We're on the Bud Lights.
So we're both trash.
Yes, very much so.
Word.
I'm embracing it. I don't know. Why not? Just keep it light. I'm eating a lot of food. It's the holiday season. I can't put my calories in my beer right now, you know?
Got it.
But how you been, man?
Doing well. Came off a holiday party from the company and into a magic session earlier today. So living the dream. Holiday season. It's good stuff.
Heck yeah. Where was the holiday party?
At a Dave & Buster's in the Willowbrook Mall.
Fuck yeah. Love
Yeah.
that place. Always a good time.
I am loaded with Dave & Buster's credits right now. So anyone wants to make a deal trading any Power 9 or Dual Lands for your weight in Dave & Buster's credits, I've got you, dog.
Oh shit. That sounds like a very fair trade. Someone should jump on that.
100%. That's value. Come on, MGG stocks.
Hell yeah. Well, all right. And then you played Commander today.
Yeah, we Commander set shit out. It was nice. We had Mark's brother Kyle, who's a new player, coming on board. He had his own pre-con today, so he got into the nitty gritty on that pre-con, and got to test a bunch of two new decks out today, and it was a good time.
Damn. Okay. So I had huge FOMO all morning. You got to explain it all to me nice and slow and let me know how it went. Make me be part of this. How was Kyle's deck? Did he like it? And how were your decks? How did it go? How many games? Lay it all on me, homie.
So Kyle actually, Mark bought Kyle the Outlaw Precon from Thunder Junction to play with. So I do, before we get into it, I am concerned that we're pigeonholing him into Rakdos / Mardu, because when he first played with us, we lent him black white deck, and then a Mardu deck, and then now this is the second time playing, and Mark purchased him a Mardu deck. So I just feel like we got to get him on some blue and green.
Yeah,
not even just Simic, but just to expose him to like other colors.
For sure. I feel like sometimes when you first grasp the colors you want, you hang on to them like a life raft, and you just try to figure it out until you're ready to move on to another. So I mean, he might be liking it, but at the same time, it is important to test out the other colors before you decide like, oh, this is my path, you know? So
yeah, you might want to know what it's like to actually ramp and get like 6 lands out by turn 3, or counter a spell.
Well, let's not get crazy.
You could be one of those. You could be one of those.
We don't need another one of those. No, but yes, he should try it all out. Get weird with some Simic shit. That's fair. Flyers that aren't demons, you know?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Blue's actually my least played color. I just took a stock of what colors I have. Blue is by far the least.
Yeah, blue and white are mine. Which is fair, though. You know, there's got to be a bottom color, you know?
Mine are blue and green. Oh. Blue and green. Yeah, white and black are the highest.
Yeah, that's fair. That checks out. But so how were your decks then? How'd they play?
All right, good. So, in my introduction to the Year of the Boros, and a deck that we had spoke about on the show that finally got built was Kadric Soulcaller, which is, Boros Legends. And it was fucking awesome. I managed to get Aurelia the War Leader out. Made a copy of that, and I, made sure that I knew, like, you can only attack with one Aurelia the first time, because if you attack with both of them, both untap, you do get the 2 untap. You get the 2 combats, but you don't get the 2 untaps, because they'll just go untap another combat, but it would both untaps would happen first. So you have to hold one back so you can attack with the second one on the second combat to make a third combat, and then you get the untap trigger again. So
nice. Okay, just if you sequence it right, you get more damage.
Yeah, so I managed to have 3 combats worth of swings there. Nice. And that was great. And then somebody killed the Aurelia, and I played the Aemir, that if a legendary creature dies, you can have another combat. And I had Yahenni out to sacrifice things at will, and it was not Yahenni, sorry. That was a different game. It was a vampire game. What did I have out for sacrificing?
I like
Ashnod's Altar. Yeah, Yahenni's great. Instant speed sacrifice is great. I had some sack outlet, which would made it easy.
All right. Yeah, I like Yahenni. I forced it in standard. I wished it would fit in commander. But I always end up pulling it out. I think that's a really good card. That's just always on the cusp for me.
Yeah.
3 mana black cards. They're good.
That's really good. With haste too. It is haste.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well. I took that game down. Second game, I played Captain America, and goddamn, is throwing swords at people a good time. Fucking threw Excalibur a bunch of times, for 12 damage. Put a Basilisk collar on him. Now he's getting new life for all that damage. And he's got Death Touch for all that shit. Caldara Complete I put on him at one point, so he was a 8/8 first strike, trample, vigilance. If this creature just deals damage, you're exiled type shit. It was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I played an Equipment Commander, and that was a good time.
That's awesome. Now, did you have to tutor for these, or was were all these equipments just
both?
Nice. Okay.
Open the armory for Sword of Eden, and then when that got, I actually started opening hands Colossus Hammer. So that was dumb. That was dumb out the gate. I hit somebody for 14 on turn 3 or turn 4, commander damage, and then that got removed. And then I pulled out Excalibur, and then I pulled out Caldara with Stoneforge Mystic.
That's amazing. Hell yeah, that's the dream right there.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. So then I took the controversial action, which we've discussed on the show before, of I had a crazy board state, and I felt that Kyle was brand new playing a pre-con. I'm pretty sure Mark was on a pre-con as well, and Joey was playing like a mildly updated pre-con. So I just conceded after I brought everyone to 20 life. And then I stepped out of the game so they could finish the game.
I mean, I'm okay with that. You're happy. No one was gonna beat you, and you allowed them to finish the game. I'm okay with that. Especially,
I feel like that's not as controversial. Yeah, that's. Right? I feel like that's not as controversial as it should be. Why not let everyone finish the game out? I did what I knew I was gonna do. I was like, cool, this worked out. I didn't feel like it was necessary to they had nice board states. It was just that I was able to win by going over top of them with Rogue's Passage unblockable for commander damage kills, or even just throwing fucking equipment at people.
Right. No, I'm okay with that one. It's especially since there was someone new at the table where everyone's trying to test out their decks. Everyone wants to see how the deck goes. And we've all been in that position where our decks are going good, and then suddenly it ends. And you're like, I wish I would have had an extra turn or two just to see what
the next couple of cards, or play that one thing I knew I was going to cast next turn.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it in that terms, Fuck
yeah.
it.
So yeah, hopefully, sorry guys, hopefully no one's too salty out there. None of them listen to the podcast, so, but it's here.
I bet Mark made a deal out of it though.
Then we played a triple Rakdos game, which is fucking dumb. I was explaining to Kyle how Rakdos, even one Rakdos deck suddenly makes it not legitimate Magic anymore, because it just totally changes the scope of the game, because all of a sudden there's clocks everywhere. You play, Mark had a Polluted Bonds and an Obesh out, so every land you played was 4 damage, and it's that was turn 4 or something. It was just silly. That game ended ultimately where Mark acidic soiled everyone to kill them at the same time.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
very very Rakdos. I
So
mean, it's weird because Rakdos decks such as those and Stacks decks are kind of the same thing in terms of like you aren't allowed to play as you would normally play your deck. You have to scale back and either cast only one turn because you're stacks to it, or cast one turn because that's all the life you have to put into it.
yeah, you can
So
afford.
it's actually a very close parallel between Stacks and Rakdos. So I could see where if there's 3 Rakdos decks happening, at some point it's like, dude, it's turn 4. I'm at 18 life. If I cast something, I'm losing another 6. And random damage is happening next turn too. So maybe I don't even see another turn.
Yeah.
But that's the shit I love though. I'm trying to be very level about this, but that is my favorite kind of Magic. So, because then no matter how prepared your deck is, it can just get smashed on. And that's
Yeah.
the funnest. That's the chaos of it. That's Rakdos. So yeah, not always the
Ew.
funnest, but damn, is it doing what it needs to do?
Ew.
I think about Escape to Avernus, Descent into Avernus, and I'm torn on that card because that really does end a game very fast, but it's also one of my favorite cards. So, do you think that's a card that shouldn't be put in all Rakdos decks, or is that acceptable? Is
I mean,
that
I
one of
guess
those
it
like
depends
chill
what your
out?
game plan is. Yeah, like I think it could have a home. Um, the only time not is like maybe if you wanted to have like a longer clock to work out your game plan. I don't know
Yeah.
what would be maybe playing like I don't know Rakdos, Lord of Riots, like just demons or something, and you wanted time to ramp and play big demons. You might not want to play that, but if
Yeah.
you're trying to go
Well, okay.
quick.
Here's a great example. So I have Obeka now. She does upkeeps. If I play Descent into Avernus with Obeka and I hit for 4 damage, over that my single turn, we're doing 5 triggers of that. So for the last one, it'll be everyone's taking 10 damage and making 10 treasures, but you've already taken 8 damage and 6 damage and 4 damage. Like I can end a game just by hitting with
Yeah.
Obeka in that card. And if I don't end it with that, the next turn, someone's going to have 18 treasures to fuck shit up with. So I don't know. I ended up not running it in Obeka. And since
Yeah.
I was running it, considering it, I realized that card might not be as fun as I think it is. So I don't know.
Yeah, you
Just
could
an
end the
interesting
game out
thought.
of nowhere.
Yeah, for real. For real. But all right. So that went well. What else did you play? Did anyone do any wild shit? Was there any good cards or moments?
Well, okay, last game I played my vampire deck and the newly released Bloodthirsty Conqueror, that vampire, the 5 mana opponent loses life, you gain that much life.
Yeah, 5/5 flying
Flying
death
Death
touch. Yes.
Touch. Yeah, so I slapped a pair of boots on that and managed to let Mark's Tyranids and Joey's dinosaurs bash each other because they got into a little bit of a beef in that game, and I just reaped the benefits and just gained fuck tons of life off of that card. That card's awesome, and Cruel Celebrant and a bunch of little tokens got me the win for just sacrificing. I sacrificed those to Yenny.
Damn, that's awesome. I love that when 2 opponents are just punching each other in the face and you just sneak by and steal the keys for the victory. Hell
Yeah, to the detriment of everyone else. That's usually you and I.
Yeah. I'll always tackle you off a cliff.
Yep.
But, that's what we're there for.
Yeah. So yeah, good games. Ultimately, won a little bit more than I should have, but just trying out some new decks. So
yeah, listen. So sometimes that's the way it is. I'm pretty sure the last time we played, you didn't have your wild streaks.
no.
Like last time. So it it comes and goes, and that's just how it is. I ended up winning 2 of the games when I played with Connor and Melissa and Harold. And it wasn't because my decks did really well. It's just sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Nice. What did you end up playing?
So I started off by playing Obeka, and it was a slow start as normal. I just couldn't get all my pieces together. But in the end of it, I had Obeka out with fuck, I don't even remember now. It was As For Told was one of them. So I just kept on dropping stuff from my hand, which I learned. This was, again, these are one of the learning mistakes is I see it at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a time counter on it, and then it says once during your turn, cast something. But I saw it as every time you put a time counter on, cast something out. So it was a few turns in before I realized that I can't drop 2 or 3 things just because I'm getting multiple upkeep triggers on As For Told. So that was a mistake on my end, but we did catch it before anything other than I had a propaganda that got dropped out for, for free that shouldn't have. So it wasn't like too much brought out, but yeah, the propaganda let me hold on long game, and it was some drain spell that was dealing like 4 damage. I don't even remember, but that ended up taking it. Game 2, I played Frogs, and hell yeah, Frogs were so tight. It was so good. It was so good. I don't know. I mean, it's just bouncing up and down. And
I have your Clement, by the way.
Oh yes, I'm so excited.
It's here.
It was so reinvigorating to see that working around. And I'm trying to think about what card it was that helped me get going, but I don't remember. There was something out that was letting me. Oh, a Lauren. That's what I turned 4. I got out a Lauren, and I was able to, with Clement out, drop a 3-drop to return my Pawn Prophet to hand. Then I would drop my Pawn Prophet, return my little Sundew Cherisher to hand, and then I would, and then on my next turn I would drop the Sundew, and all this time just kind of getting this little bit of extra value because everything was instant speed. So without paying mana, so I was able to just kind of drop things and still hold stuff up for counter spells and bounce spells and. Yeah, Aloran ended up being just as good as I had hoped it would be. So shout out to that card. And it's not cheap. I think it's like $20-something.
Nice. What decks did you see in the field?
Okay, I want to shout out Harold's decks. So first off, he's like, I got Lord of Pain, and he pulls out Lord of Pain. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then game 2, he pulls out Captain America. And I'm like,
word.
Damn, this is
Harold's not get along just fine.
Oh my God, I know. And he played great. I want to call out one thing that he did where he was down to 1 life and we were all at about 18 and it was on his turn. And there was no way he would see another turn, but he had a board wipe in hand and he chose not to cast it just to save the game to get on to the next one. And I recognize that because that's something we always talk about, kind of like, do you hold back the board wipes or not? And it's fine if you cast it and you try to claw out. Everybody's allowed to do that, but just having him be like, no, I'm good. Let's finish this one up and get. I don't think I'm going to win this one no matter what. Was a cool insight to how other people play and how pods happen.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. Let's see, Connor, and then the last game we did like superpower. Everyone pull out the most powerful deck. I played Clark for that, and what was it? It was the lady artifact lady that Connor plays, Joyra, and I think fuck. See, this was a few days ago. You had yours fresh. You can recall it fresh months days ago.
Hours ago.
I don't remember what Harold played.
Alexios, that's the only CEDH deck I saw him play.
No, I know he has Winota. And he decided not to play that one. He played another one of his high-powered decks that was not Winota. But I, for the life of me, I don't remember. Either way, he ended up winning. He killed Connor. The last game was just a 3-player. He killed Connor, and then me and him went off. And Clark almost took it. Clark was so close to taking it. It came down to coin flips.
A coin flip? Yeah, damn.
Yeah. But I had some lucky coin flips. So, I lost my first 3 coin flips, so I thought I was out completely, and then suddenly I just started hitting coin flips with Chandra out, and I cascaded into a second Chandra, and I had 3 casts of this one thing. It was cool to see that these decks that I have that are not CEDH, if you play properly, can at least stand up to it.
They still slug it out.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was just quick in and out, play some games. But yeah, I think I'm just most excited that Frogs got back into the game, and I'm ready for Frogs. I want Clement at the helm, and I might start ordering all foil versions for the Frogs deck.
Any edits at all? Do you think you're gonna tweak, or do you feel like the list is in a good spot?
Honestly, I think I'm in a good spot with what I'm trying. I don't think taking out any frogs to put in more card draw is going to help me. I don't think putting in more biomass mutation type spells are going to get me there, because those cards are so dead in my hand that if I have more than 2, it's not doing it. So I like it. I want to see what else they print moving forwards, and maybe I'll be able to find stuff from there. But for right now, I think I'm good.
Crudhoof Behemoth.
Yeah, but that's not a frog.
Yeah, but it's like a big frog.
Yeah.
That you could bounce. Look at all your bounce spells. Play it again.
Yeah, that's not a. All right, I'll tell you what. If I am not getting enough wins, I will sneak one in there, and I'll just alter it to have like frog belly and frog legs, and we'll be all good.
Actually, going back to your Obeka deck, have you ever considered? I know we haven't really played with them too often, but lately. But would you consider running any tutors? Like, do you have your vampiric tutor in there?
No. I have my vampiric and my demonic in my Xantia deck, so I wasn't going to put it in Obeka. But that's not a bad idea, because there are some times when it's like I have Obeka but no enchantments, or I have enchantments but no protection for Obeka. So
yeah, honestly, I feel like it would work out there better.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt at all. I really should do that. Maybe take out one of the lesser enchantments and put that in.
Yeah, because you can basically count it as this is a, payoff and or an enabler. You know what I mean? So either spot you take it out of.
Yeah, and then I'll just tutor for Descent into Avernus every time.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck it.
No, God, no. But so it was good. Connor and Melissa are looking to play again, so we'll see what we can do. Harold, this is my first time actually sitting down at the commander table with him and playing a game against him. It was such a great time.
Harold's a great guy.
Dude, it's just so many similar ideas about Magic and everything. It really was a pleasure. I can't wait to have him around more. And he talked about a few things. So this is actually something I want to bring up with you now, because we've talked about it, but we always kind of just shun it off. I want to have a real conversation about CEDH and where we stand in this. Because playing that last game was honestly very exciting for me. I had fun, kind of thinking it could blow up at any moment, and it raised my attention and how I was playing a little bit more. So I enjoyed it. Is this something that would fit our play group? Is this something that we can try to pull off, or are the people who we play with just not gonna fly?
We're only one person shy. We're only one person shy of having that, and because obviously I would do it. I'm already in the process of making one, and I have had a list in the past, so it's not like I haven't dabbled with it before. You're the same. You had Zur. I don't know if Zur's still as popular, but still, you have played a little bit.
Keurig, yep.
Exactly. And Connor is already partially there. I don't know if he's running like a list, so to speak, but his deck is definitely close.
Yes.
So we would just need one more person to kind of round it out.
And Harold has one, and Keldon, technically has one with Marin. So we have people who do it, and I do just step one of mine up a little bit more, because it was really nice. And I know that we haven't had people to play with, but goddamn, it felt good. So I'm interested. It gave me the itch. But then, okay, so my second question to this also is, what really makes a CEDH deck? Because when I hear it, I think counter spells and combos. But is this the path that we have to go down? Is there other ways that we can play very powerful Magic without leading to combos and counter spells?
Yes and no. Certain decks, like Kinnan, for instance. Kinnan Big Flips essentially utilizes Kinnan's cheap ass ability to let me pull him up so I can read him. We're an MTG podcast. All right, Kinnan is Simic for a 2/2. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. And then for 7, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest on the bottom in random order. If you play Kinnan with like Basalt Monolith, I think it is, like that's infinite mana right there. And you put that into, put that into fucking making the big flips happen, and then you win through playing gigantic, gross ass creatures. So, or Winota, for instance, I don't think Winota is a combo style deck, or like Najeela. Najeela was a combo deck in the sense that you're trying to make mana. Oh, you're looking at the tier list?
Yeah.
Do they have Sisay listed at the top there?
Yeah. The Master of Keys is technically number 1, which is interesting.
Yeah, I've been sitting on the Master of Keys. He seems kind of cool. You have to close, I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sisay's number 1 on the Titan tier.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think CEDH subreddit would agree with that.
Yeah. I what is this? This is Moxfield. So I mean it's not like it's some trash thing here, but I mean it's interesting to see that mono red decks are a thing. Well, I mean I know Najeela is not really mono red, but Magda is.
Magda is a hell of a
dwarves.
Deck. Yeah.
Wow, I would build that. That's something I would be interested in doing.
I think it abuses the treasure tokens though, is what it's going for.
I'm okay with that. Kark the Thumbless is a what? Oh,
well, it's Karkashima. Karking. That's what I was telling you that whole time. Is that Kark plus Sakashima is actually like a deck.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because right now the most popular, I believe, is a deck called like Blue Farm. I don't really know enough about the game to know like what Bloom Farm like means, but I think that's like Crom and maybe Timna or something to give you 4 of the colors, and you just run like all the best.
Right.
Well, okay, so there's actually a debate whether or not budget CDH is actually a thing.
Okay, and why? What's the argument for that?
Because there's an argument that says that CDH by definition is playing the absolute best cards you possibly can to win in as little time as possible based on like what your strategy is. So like by definition, if you're trying to play the best cards you possibly can, if you're playing a budget version, you're not playing CDH because there are better cards you could be playing, and therefore it doesn't count. Now there's another crowd of people that thinks like, CDH is more of like a mentality of, when you play Commander, there's a certain like being nice and not wanting to kill somebody too early. Or like, okay, I attacked this person, let me roll a die to see who's getting damage or whatever like that. And CDH is like a mentality of, hey, we're all sitting down with the intention that we all know like we're trying to win. There's no love lost because we're all just going to hurt each other as bad as we can. And I think in that mentality, budget brews can kind of exist in the sense like, I might not have the $2,000 time twister in this deck, but I am playing with what I can with the intention of I'm going to try to win as quickly as I can.
Yeah, that's the word, is intention. When you sit down, if your intention is to go as hard as you can, then you're playing CEDH. I don't think the cost of the deck is obviously a powerful deck is going to cost more money, but I think if you can build something and you give yourself a budget and your intention is to bring it as heavy as you can, I think you could still sit at that table and bring something.
Yeah.
Just
because of variance too. Just because of variance too, you never know when like that high powered deck could throw a wrench in the machine, because a lot of like CDH decks have greedy mana bases that can be punished without them thinking about it, or if they spend too much time dealing with the other decks at the table, you could sneak in. So variance does allow there to be, some openings and opportunities for decks that might not be as high powered.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what we should do then is maybe we'll dip our toes. I'm going to upgrade a deck to make it just a little bit, putting cards that normally sitting down with our group, I'd be like, I'm not going to cast this. This isn't worth casting. I don't want to do this. And maybe I'll just bring it up to a level that makes me comfortable with saying, hey, I'm doing as best I can without, you know, breaking any banks or trying to try too hard. So I'm going to try that out. And then now that we have enough people, I'd like to give it a go, give it a hoot.
Yeah, I think we should. I'm so for it.
Yeah, because we've been really going. You played with a new player today, and we've been going down and reaching the pre-con level. And listen, the previous podcast I just recorded with Keldon is talking about a $10 commander deck, which I want to have a quick convo with you on that, because that was quite the experience. Where you couldn't, the most expensive card in the deck for me is a 69-cent card, and the most expensive card in his deck is I think he said it was like a 47 card cent deck, because he had to put money into his lands also as a landfall deck. And it was absolutely insane trying to build where Impact Tremors is the top end of my deck. Like, but also when I played this deck out in my little test plays, it's tight as hell, man. I'm so shocked in how good that Jolly Man is doing with $10 to it. So quite the experience to build. I'm really excited to see whether it goes quick. I'm hoping that it doesn't end up being, you know, like a 3-hour game, because no one can close it off because we all have an underpowered deck. But I'm pretty impressed with how that came out.
I don't think it has to be, because Mark has a I don't know if it's $10 exactly, but he has a sub $40, and I want to say it's $10 actually, Calamity Brew or whatever. But just the fact that it smacks for commander damage, like if people aren't taking care of it, I've seen it like take people out of the game against much more expensive decks, just because sometimes people aren't prepared to get hit by like a 12/12 flyer on turn 4.
Yeah, for real. It's shocking how sometimes money doesn't matter what the deck is doing. Now, to be fair, if the deck, you know, if Jolly Balloon Man had War Leader's Call, or, you know, Enduring Courage was the other one that was really important for it. Like, if it had it, obviously it'll work way better, but I don't think it needs it, because that's one card. So let's say those two cards that I'm talking of that would make the deck so much better, there's a good chance I'm not going to see either of them the entire game. So did it make it better if I never saw it? No, it's the same fucking deck then. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and it brings me to my next topic of what should a commander deck cost? And it comes down to, Keldon was joking that, you know, when I had said that I was doing $100 budget build, he's like, that's not budget at all. That's what a normal deck should cost. And in my head, personally, I think a $300 deck is a budget deck. Anything under $300 in my eyes is budget. And he laughed. What is your idea of budget?
Yeah, I'd have to go with you. I'd say $100 or less, honestly. See, okay, but this is we always have this conversation. This is the issue of the difference between enfranchised long-term collectors and somebody who would just get into the hobby fresh. Because I'd imagine for somebody who was just getting into the hobby fresh, buying fetches, shocks, you know, battle bond lands, just land base alone would be daunting. And then you get into like the other various like staples and shit like that. So to them, absolutely $300 would be a lot. But for people that have been playing for a while, you know, I have all my fetches and shocks, and, you know, I never need to worry about it because I just break a deck down and pull those out of there. So for me, it's like, oh, how much more am I going to spend on Magic to finish this deck? Which for the most part is well under $100 nowadays, because I have most things, and it's just like one or two uncommons for a theme, or, you know, one random rare from Thunder Junction that I never, you know, held on to because I was like, you know, I don't give a shit about this right now. So I would say $100.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the budget.
Fair. That's fair. That for budget. But what would a typical, like your decks, if you priced out all of your decks, what are they all sitting out about?
I would say in the $200 to $300 range.
Yeah, right.
But that's a lot of it, like, again, is propped up by, you know, if it's a 3-color deck and each shock land is like $15, that's $45 worth of shock lands in 3 cards. And then I run usually like 3 to 4 fetches, again, because you pulled them from the Modern Horizon sets and sat on them. Pulled them from cons when it was in standard. That's another $15-$20 a piece. So there you go. That's already like $100 just in 5 or 6 lands.
Yeah. Now, if you had a new player come in, would you recommend they got shocks and fetches?
No.
Or would you say, listen, build as budget as you can?
Yeah, no, definitely build as budget you can. That's actually kind of what we were talking to Kyle about because, seeing him play, he saw the detriment of he really needed a land for something and he pulled the Scry land. And it's like, yeah, it sucks. You got your land, but like you got to wait and now another whole turn when if that was a shock land, you could have paid 2 life and you could have had that untapped. Or if you had that replaced with like maybe even one of the pathways from Zendikar, like you could have picked a color that you wanted it to be and tapped it right away. So
right.
He kind of learned there. It's but you can get away with the tap lands and stuff like that. You don't need that. That's like a more enfranchised thing to me.
Yeah, and I still run tap lands frequently. I'm notorious for it, and so I'm looking through my decks right now on Architect on my normal prices, and so I guess really what it comes down to is I got to change the price source to TCG because the Card Kingdom is crazy. But even at TCG prices, my Frog deck is $417 averaged out.
Damn, really? Well, you're running like Ristic in there?
Yeah, my Obeka is $212.
Yeah.
So I mean, two to 400. Massacre Girl.
So 300.
Yeah, Massacre Girl is sitting at $468. What the fuck, really? What am I running in this? I got Shieldred, Vampiric Tutor, Urborg. Damn, okay.
See? And those are just shits that
and
you
it's just
had.
cards I had.
You didn't buy any of those. That's what I'm saying. It's hard.
All right, that
My
really drove your point home.
Just don't sell any of your shit ever. Just don't sell anything. Keep at least 1 copy of everything.
Yeah, or if you get like that ornate, foil showcase version of it, sell it and get the regular one.
Yeah, keep the regular.
Yeah, because it is crazy. Because the cost of commander decks are so nebulous. You don't really know. And then also I have Zimone. I fucking love Zimone. What was it, $40 or whatever? And I put put a few cards in. That thing I think is just as good as all my others. So
thing rips.
I don't know. Yeah, I think everyone should start considering just budgeting a little bit more and I'd rather see more decks, but you don't have shock lands than, oh great, you have one very powerful deck, but that's all you're playing with. So
that's actually what ended up with my Squirrels and Wolf and my Cormac deck. Like all of my Landfall deck, even those were built out of like what I had left over. I didn't buy anything for those.
Yeah, that's wild. That's awesome though. That's the way. Well, good, man. I don't know. I gotta say though, once I play Jolly Balloon Man a few times, I'm dumping into that son of a bitch. Because just building it and watching it and testing it out, it's exactly what I want to be doing. So officially, I have joined the Boros Club. I did it. You're the Boros.
You
I know
snuck
we're late
it
to
in
the party.
last 2 weeks.
Straight. Damn straight. And I ordered the deck. It was literally with shipping and everything. It was $23 because I bought like the special foil version of Balloon Man and a few, different arts and foils to just make it look good. So I fucking did it.
All right. So I have a question about the $10 deck.
Yes.
$10 deck. So it is $10 in your cart in TCG Player before shipping, or is it $10 as listed on some site?
So if you go onto Architect and you build it on Architect, you have it tells you up top right now the deck cost, estimated deck cost. And if you can set the price source to TCG, because obviously Card Kingdom is going to be more expensive. And right at the top, estimated deck cost needs to be under
10.00 or less.
10.00 or less, not including your commander and not including basic lands. So when I listed this, what I did is I set it up to where I didn't put any lands into this because I'm running all basics. I didn't put any into lands. And if you look at it and it goes to the full deck, I'm just going to hold my phone up here. It goes to full deck and it tells you without the commander what it costs, and that's the price I went for.
That's $22.
Right there. Oh, that's Massacre Girl. I have Massacre Girl up here.
Right, I was gonna say, I was like, motherfucker, that's not at all.
No, no, that's Massacre
Girl. $10 for you. I'm getting 20.
Yeah, no, it was really fun though, because it's not too hard, man, because removal, it's like, okay, maybe I can't run Path to Exile,
whatever
but
common ass removal, yeah, because even spending $1 on something is too much of a budget.
Right, dude. Seized from Slumber is what I'm running, which is a 5 mana instant destroy target creature spell, but it's 3 less if that creature's tapped. So it's like if they swing at me, it's a 2 mana instant removal, but it's 4 cents. So I didn't have to worry about, Trapped in the Screen is the shitty, fucking enchantment, but it has Ward 2 and it's only worth 4 cents. So that's where and you have fun. Like I'm running Rosy Cotton in here, Intangible Virtue. I got Cat Collector, Siege Gang Commander, two board wipes. There are board wipes in the penny slot, which is awesome.
And this is not including Commander.
Not including Commander. So your Commander can be
something insane as a Commander. Yeah,
100%.
Like,
and then
the Dragon, and then just every cheap 10-cent dragon.
Yes, absolutely, that can work. But then your problem with that is you have to worry about the land base.
Yeah,
So are you going to run all of the gates?
Yeah, the gates. So actually, that's a funny transition because I may or may not have grabbed the 20 Ways to Win Secret Lair Commander deck.
I don't even know about this.
Oh, you never heard about that?
No, I'm so out of the loop on the news of it.
Oh, okay. So 20 Ways to Win was the newest Commander deck that Secret Lair dropped. Right, I even got the page coming up.
So it's a full deck?
Yeah, it's a full deck with 20 Ways to Win. So it's got Maze's End, Simic Ascendancy, 20-toed Toad. What else is in there? Liliana's Contract.
I need a 20-toes Toad. That's the one card I need to order. Shit.
Oh, no, you don't. I have one.
Okay, so
downstairs on my table.
You have an extra one?
Yeah, it's literally, yeah, I do. Don't order that.
All right,
I got you.
I'll definitely trade that then. Awesome. So Goshinti of Life's Origin is 3 and a green, 3/4. Wooburg, tap it. Return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. When Goshinti of Life's Origin or another non-token shrine you control enters, create a 1/1 colorless shrine enchantment creature token, and it's a shrine. Okay, interesting. How is this 20 Ways to Win?
Okay, so it literally has... All right, so technically it's like 16, but cards that say like you win the game on them. Like 20-toed Toad is that if it has, I think, 20 or more counters on it, it wins, or if you have 20 cards in your hand, you win. It has Approach of the Second Sun, which is a win the game spell. It has Mechanized Production. Biovisionary is a win the game spell. Maze's End is a win the game effect. I think it has the Simic Ascendancy is a win the game card. Revelant Witches is a win the game. Look at the art in the Revelant Witches, by the way. How fucking dope is that?
Oh shit. This is so all of the win card games have special foil versions.
Not all of them, which is what people were pretty pissed off about, but a lot of them do. Happily Ever After is a win con. So they released this deck. A lot of the general, and if you look over at the lands, you can see it's all the gates for Maze's End.
That's awesome.
So a lot of people were complaining about this deck because like like the From Cute to Brute deck, which was all the flip cards, like the the dual face cards. There's not a lot of cohesion in this deck beyond literally just like, here are 20 ways to win. Oh, and the other controversy before I get too far is that they're considering combat damage to be a way to win, and one other thing, like some of
Commander
the ways.
damage or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Is a way to win. So it's only like 16 win the game cards, I think, total. But there's no
But there's still 20 ways
cohesion.
to win.
Yes,
I like it.
exactly. There's no cohesion. It's pretty gross. It's a big hodgepodge of bullshit. So my pet project is to see how many of the ways to win I can preserve while still like editing it slowly into like a functioning deck.
Damn, I didn't even know about this. This is something super awesome. This was only $150 I saw.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love that they're doing this stuff.
Yeah, the theme is interesting.
Your intention is to play this, right? You said you're gonna upgrade and sleeve it up, and this will be at the table.
Yeah,
Awesome,
100%. So, but and like I said, like I'm gonna start cutting some cards because, like, for instance, like there's a Liliana's contract in there, which is I forget if that's exactly what it's called, but the one where you need 4 demons to win.
Yes,
but I don't believe there's a demon, or if there is a demon, there's only 1 demon in the deck. So like that's kind of unfair because essentially you'd have to use like Rite of Replication kicked to like make that enough demons to win, which is like a super big stretch. And the same thing with a Biovisionary, the Simic creature that if you have 4 copies called Biovisionary, like you win the game, you would need to kick a Rite of Replication to actually like get that to work. So I'm gonna cut some of the bullshit out and put like more support kind of cards in there to support the other win cons. Like Miles Aria seems like something that would be pretty easy to get off. 20-toed Toad could be easy to get off. Like kind of transitioning it into a more of like a 1/1 counter / life gain / enchantment matters deck. So I'm actually going to dismantle my enchantments deck to support this one.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. 10 ways to win deck.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, just enough. Basically as many as I can, but realistically speaking, yeah, we're looking at dropping like 4 or 5 of the win cons.
The real question is, why the fuck is Triskaidekaphobia not in here? I see the file in here, but not the phobia. So I don't know. This deck is trash.
Yeah, I might have to sneak it in there. We're adding 21 ways to win.
There we go. Fucking bring it up. That's super cool. I just keep on doing it. All the secret lair. It's not for me. I'm not a secret lair purchaser. But it makes me so happy to see these. And when those cards do come out, I'll happily buy singles. Like I'm not going to hold back. One of my favorites is actually the Heartbeat of Spring. For the was it the gay pride one with the 2 ladies, the 2 planeswalkers. Like,
oh yeah,
I love that artwork so fucking much, and I play that card so much. I bought that single. I'm in. So please just keep on making them, and I'll pick and choose the ones I want. But I don't think I'm gonna buy like whole secret. It'll have to be like really fucking good.
Unless there's good value, like when I warn you guys, like, hey, go get your Teferi's Protection for like. You did that. Don't shake your head at me. You did take me up on that.
So actually, the way that worked is I commissioned it. So Keldon bought it for art. So I did altars for him. So I did not buy it.
For but currency I that you traded for a secret lair. So
he offered it. I didn't even ask. It's not something I wouldn't for $1 million. I wouldn't have bought it, but I'll paint
for $1 million. Get the fuck out of here! For $1 million, you'd buy it.
Nope.
Yeah, no, sir. No.
All right, maybe for $1 million for free. Anything other than free, yeah, sure. But yeah, no. So I just keep it going. Secret Lair is awesome. All right, question for you here. What would it take for you to play Standard right now? Because, dude, it is so good. And everyone I know is trying to get into it. The paper Standard is firing off. It's as good as it gets. Every card you could ever want is in there. What is it? What's missing for you? Is it just simply time? Like you acknowledge that this is a good set, or is there something missing?
It's a combination of factors. There's the first factor I would say is that I don't really have interest in spending money on Arena to build a collection. even less so like we talked about now that there's been the announcement of a possible standalone Commander client. If that brings purchases over from Arena, cool. But if it doesn't, if I were to choose between the two, I would choose the Commander client. Other than that, going to like on Fridays, like I have a side job that I work, and on Friday I really couldn't get to the shop until 7:15 ish, and usually standard starts at 7. I might be able to sneak there right at 7, but it's a little difficult, and I can't always like guarantee that I'm going to get there on time, which is also what's been stopping me from going to like pre-releases on Fridays.
Paper standards are on Saturday now.
Oh, interesting. So Friday is still Pioneer?
Yes. Yeah. They couldn't get rid of it. That's just too popular. So they
put standard Friday, on Saturday.
Yeah, which I can't.
It's tough.
Saturdays. Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. And then lastly, it's like there's I don't know if I have the 1v1 bug in me anymore. I don't know if I have the desire to play that type of game anymore. I really do enjoy the worrying about the entire board state board game of Commander as opposed to the standard kind of stuff. That's kind of what it comes down to.
That's fair. So it's not the state of the format. It's just the format itself that you've put to rest for now, at least.
No, because I honestly feel like this would be the best time in the world for me to get into standard. There's so many fucking cards. There's so many different strategies that you can use. Yeah. And now that Universes Beyond are going into standard too, 2025 is looking to be a wild ride as far as standard goes. So there's nothing to do with that, but everything to do with just, I don't know if I like to do just 1v1 kind of battles anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's cool to know, because even you're praising the format. You know it's good. It's just it's not the spot right now. So that's cool, because bro, I can't stop preaching it. I think standard's in the best spot ever. So whenever you are ready, if there ever is that day where it's like, you know what, I want to drop $200 into Arena for no reason, like it's there, and it'll be worth it.
Let's see when Commander gets announced.
Really. Okay. Well, so that's the next thing. Are you gonna play Commander on this fucking app? Randos. Are you playing with randos?
There's a much... I want to say there's a better likelihood of me doing it. There's definitely a higher % chance of that happening. But at the end of the day, another part of the problem is that, like, if I have $20 to spend, I feel like I'd rather buy, like, either a pack to gamble on a real card or put that towards... I would rather build a budget $20 or less Commander deck to maybe play with next time we play than put $20 on digital cards.
That's fair. Okay. I agree with that too. Well, now how about this then? Because my answer to what I play with for randos ends up being no, I'm not going to play with randoms. I would use that as a platform to build a deck, but if I have to pay $50 to build a deck that I'm going to build in paper, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
So the next thing, and something is, I want to really look into Spellbook. I know we've mentioned this the past 3 weeks, and I think it's time we do our research and we try it out for science and make it happen, because since we are squeezing out these Fridays and Thursdays of playing Magic, how nice would it be if no one has to leave the fucking house? You know?
Even if we did it during the day, we normally play together and just like, hey, somebody can't leave because of the baby or like the kids, it's not working out. Like, oh, we can all hop on and jam out 2 games real quick.
Right.
With a minimal impact to our day.
Yeah, I'm under the weather. I've got fucking strep throat. I don't want to sit around with you guys and get you sick, but meet me on. We'll play 2-3 games.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% interested. In fact, I was thinking the other day about like just hopping on and seeing what was good. I would rather do it with people I know for the first couple of games, just to kind of get used to like the lay of the land, because I know that I've seen a lot of horror stories on Reddit about people's reactions on SpellTable, but if it's an excuse to jam more paper in.
Yeah. A fair point that Keldon brought up too is you never know what power level you're going up against. So playing randos on this new format that they're going to do, you don't know what you're going against. You don't
CEDH,
know. So
straight at the gate all the time.
Oh, Well, that's the problem. Is I'm gonna be so excited to have my frog deck built on here, and then see I'll go against
But then the
whatever.
brackets come in, and maybe it'll be coordinated with the brackets of like, hey, like you're signing up for bracket 4. Oh,
Do
I'm
you
playing frogs, bracket 1.
do you think the brackets are going to be um valid? Do you think that like these brackets are actually going to equalize games?
I mean, it depends. It depends how they go. Like most people are thinking that the brackets are just going to be suggestions, but it's also possible that the brackets are enforced like 4 different ban lists. We actually don't know like how Wizards going to approach it or not. And I mean, I have the feeling that they're going to do whatever it takes to get Mana Vault and Jeweled Lotus unbanned in some capacity. And I feel like the only way to do that is to have a bracket where it's like, hey, listen, we're Wizards of the Coast and we're making like the maybe, because Gavin Verhey said that it's not definitively 4. They could do a 5th one, and maybe they say, hey, listen, we're running like tier 5 CDH is no ban list besides Power 9. Have fun, enjoy Gristlebrain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows if they're gonna do that or not? So I think it's possible. Because they want to get the reprint value back from Mana Vault and Jeweled Lotus. They're not going to want to give up that sweet teat. I could see them leaving Dockside Ban because everyone fucking hated that card, but
as long as they bring back Nadu, that makes sense. Then
yeah, for sure. Everyone loved Nadu for sure.
I fucking miss him. He was a great little bird. Well, all right. So I don't have as much faith right now, but you're making some good points to where like if they do have separate ban lists and this and that way the tier isn't, oh, these are the cards I have in my deck. These are the cards that won't be in my deck. So
yeah.
That actually makes, and that would be a lot easier to siphon, is just have ban lists for each list rather than
Yeah, and this one you're not going to play against Consultation Thoracle.
Yeah.
Or in this one, we don't even play with fucking Path to Exiles.
Yeah, no soul rings in this one here, So I'll allow it. I had a funner trash here for you, and I fucking wiped it off my phone, and I didn't take a screenshot of it. So I'm going to whip up a quick funner trash for you off of my balloon deck. So I came across this little fella that in specifically the balloon deck is awesome. Mm-hmm. It is only 56 cents, and it's clearly not trash in Balloon Man. But I want to know, is this a card that would be run in other stuff, or is this literally just trash other than this one scenario? So the card is Argris Koss. Don't hate him already.
Is it a Boros guy?
Yeah, he's a Boros guy.
Probably trash. I think I know who you're talking about.
Boy. Okay, so there's 3 different cards of him, but this one here is the Eternal Soldier. It's a 4 mana 3/4 with Vigilance, decent stats. Whenever Argris Koss Eternal Soldier becomes the target of an ability that targets only it, you may pay 2 mana, 1 in a hybrid. If you do, copy that ability for each other creature you control that ability could target. Each copy targets a different one. It's what's that?
Zada, the red fucking goblin.
Is that what that does too?
Right? Isn't that Zada basically the same?
Let's see. Because if that's the case, then this card is definitely trash, and I'll just replace it with Zada. Why did I type secretlair.com? I need Scryfall. All right, Zada. All right, so Hedron Grinder is a 4 mana 3/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Zada. Okay, so he does instants and sorceries. It'll copy for each other when you control. Argris is doing abilities.
Oh,
so it's actually more restricted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would
and you
play
have to
Zada.
Pay. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Zada.
All right, so Agros is literally only for Balloon Man. Well,
But
would he fit in
it
your
gets
deck?
you another color.
Would he fit in your Boros deck? Because don't you activate yours to make a copy of a legendary?
It's not a target though. It's a ETB trigger.
Oh,
When a legendary permanent enters, you can pay 1 to make a copy of it. Gains haste and second at the end.
and it doesn't target. I got you.
No.
Okay, I thought I found a hidden gem over here. It's just only working with Balloon Man. But hey, if you have Balloon Man, go for it. I have one more actually, because this was fun going through here, and I brought this up in the other one, but I want to get your opinion on this. Chainsaw. Oh, I thought I had this posted on the screen. Let me get this up here. Chainsaw. So this is from Duskmorn. It's 1 in a red for an equipment, artifact equipment. When it enters, it deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. So it's 2 mana removal. Whenever 1 or more creature dies, put a rev counter on it. And then equipped creature gets +X/+O, where X is the number of rev counters on Chainsaw. It is an equipped 3. But this is a removal that'll put a rev counter, and every time something dies, or if you proliferate, you're getting whatever's equipped beefier and beefier. This is cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, I wish I gave it like first strike or something.
Trample is what I wish I gave it.
Yeah, but fun. I'd say fun because it's a shock, kinda.
Yeah.
2 for 3 damage.
It's three damage. Yeah.
Is that shock or shock 1 for 2?
Shock is 1 for 2.
Lightning strike is 2 for 3.
2 for 3, yeah. So yeah, it's a lightning strike that also sits as an equipment that could possibly win you the game, depending on how much bullshit's being killed.
Yeah.
So
play it early. It kind of sits there. No one's gonna want to race removal on it.
Right, because once it lands, it already kind of did its thing by removal, and who's gonna remove it?
Slap it on a flyer. Slap it on a unblockable.
Yeah, like a 1/1 flying haste token that you produced from a Balloon Man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then when he dies, he puts the rev counter on the chainsaw, so that way the next balloon you make, I'm pumped for this. I don't know how many homes there is, but I think this is a card that is going to be super fun, and people are going to laugh at first on the table, and then at one point be very afraid of once I'm swinging for like within 8-1. But chainsaw, hell yeah. Man, I'm almost done with this beer. Anything else you want to throw in before we reach?
I'm gonna do the $10 challenge. I might even start right after we get off because that's interesting.
Awesome. That's great to hear. You're gonna have a blast with it.
It'd be hard not to. Yeah, I'm gonna hate my life though, not being able to pick like a soul ring because it's $1 and it's like it's too much of the budget.
Yeah, damn, dude, no soul ring, not even a chance. Not even a chance.
But I'm sure I'll find something. I really enjoyed when I got Ragged Draga out of our nothing on the top 100 most popular build challenge. So it's been a while since we did like a build challenge. So I'm down for that. The only other thing is we need to convene the council to determine what 2025 is going to be the year of. Because we went through the year of the Boros. And, we have to pick.
Yeah, we got to give a theme to the year.
Yeah, pick a theme for next year.
Well, I'll tell you what. The 5 listeners that are listening right now made it this far. Comment below what the year of 2025 should be, and we'll fucking build it. So
yeah, any guild, I guess, or shard.
Yeah. And just no reserve tribal or anything like that. Reserve list tribal. Just save us that. But other than that, yeah. Fuck it. I personally would like to see something like black, red, blue. What's that one?
Grixis.
I think that's a color that no one we really know is building, and I think we could have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dimir, but I just started building a Dimir deck, so I really only don't have a couple, and it's like Azurius or like I don't know, something with blue.
Yeah, or the year of the alt win cons.
Is it?
Is it? I'd like that. Yeah, I got rid of all my Is It decks. I'd build a new one. Oh, shit. Is this just us looking for excuses to keep on building decks?
No, I would never in a million years
that's
do
true.
that ever.
True. Yeah.
For any reason.
We have self-control. You don't.
For sure. Definitely 100%.
Let me just also say Harmonic Archon, which is that fucking Archon that makes everything a 3/3. I'm super pumped for that to be in Jolly Balloon Man too. I've been looking for a home for that card in a while. So
how long are you going to keep a budget before you just cave and make it a regular deck?
Honestly, probably just one day. If
one
I can
game,
play it, yeah, dude. Just
I've been there
just to
too. Where
see
you're
how
like,
it
fuck
plays.
this. I want the juice.
Yeah. Because I mean, how many times am I going to sit down and be like, no, let me play the $10 budget?
Yeah,
like,
for
it's
sure.
the deck building that's the fun, and then you want to test it out for sure to see how it goes. It's like when you build that homemade race car, and you roll it down the hill. You're not going to roll it down the hill every day. You just want to make sure that it works. So.
That runs, yeah, and they're good.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, then I will upgrade it because it was a blast to build. Like even like Circuit Mender, being able to make a copy of Circuit Mender every fucking
good shit,
turn.
dude. Get your 2 life, dog.
Exactly, and then draw the card when it dies.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Love that
it's
shit.
So good. Yeah,
love that shit.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited to see what you build. Let me know what your commander is once you decide on it. Because that's the shit too. You decide on your commander and then you're building and you're like, I don't think it's going to work with this commander. I got to find a different commander that'll use more budget cards. So
I think I'm going with a theme first. I have to find a cheap theme and then I'll pick my commander from there.
That's fair. That's probably the best way to do it. I did the opposite. I picked the commander and then forced it. But yeah, no, that sounds right. Well, all right, man. Well, let me chug this motherfucker. And we will go on with our fucking nights. Now, next week is close to Christmas. We're still going to try to record. Hopefully we get it going. And
yeah. I don't have any plans next weekend also, so if we can get Magic together.
All right, let's do it live right now. Let me see my calendar. December 15th is today. So I have an eye doctor's appointment on Friday. I can maybe do Friday. Oh my God, my whole weekend is open.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think we're free this weekend. I think we're trying to play some Commander.
What day works best for you?
I mean, I prefer Saturday, but Sunday is also cool.
All right, let me.
You heard it first, folks. This is how we set up Commander.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking we should do like a group chat at some point with everyone that we know that plays, so that we can all just like put out a call. Who's free?
It's hard because there's always a tier list of like what groups work best, and what just happened to me where you send out that mass text and 5 people reply yes, and now you have to go back and tell certain people no,
which was me, your own brother-in-law,
dude.
Your own family.
I had to call you after talking to you about, hey, let's do Thursday, and I had to call you and be like, anyway, you're not.
Yeah, you're off the list, bud. Like, God damn it. That's right.
I had to get Harold in there. I was excited.
No, I get 100%.
I know. But damn, it was still, sat there looking at my phone like, shit. Since when is everyone free on a Thursday?
Yeah, because I definitely want 2025 to be the year of we're playing twice a month.
Yeah, let's make it the year of Spellbook. That's what it is.
More games, especially with my future situation coming in the summertime.
Yes.
So
that'll work best. And I'm gonna actually watch some YouTube videos on setups, what I'm gonna need, and maybe that'll be like a little Christmas present to myself, getting the setup purchased and made. That way, I'm available and ready.
Word. All right, brother.
Yeah, man.
How's that glass looking?
Oh, it's the bottom.
It's the bottom.
Until next week, take it easy.
Take it easy.